Snoop Dogg is the reason why Tupac was on Death Row Records. So in our minds, we was like, Tupac need to be with us. So you need to go get him and bring him with us. Suge went and cut the deal and got him out, and who did he come to when he got out? He came to me and Daz. That's why Daz laced him up with all of them hits in the beginning. He came straight to my house. One night that nigga pulled me to the side, he was like, everything we do on Death Row is military. This nigga was probably like 2 days in. And he checking me on what we finna be doing. I'm listening to the nigga too, like, your boys don't get to talk to me, and my boys don't get to talk to you. For real, right? So I'm like, okay, this shit cool. But I forgot to tell my niggas. Beat the murder case, now we in Belize. We fly to Belize. So we on the beach, just everybody Death Row. And so Corrupt say something to Tupac, and Tupac like, you ain't even supposed to be talking to me, nigga. And Corrupt like, nigga, what? And they back and forth, and then nigga Tupac tell Corrupt, oh, nigga, you ain't even on my level. Nigga, I had an outlaw's deal with you. Nate Dogg stepped up and said, what the f I'm gonna be doing when that's happening? The MC Hammer tried to jump in, like, that niggas was like.
MC Hammer?
He was part of the crew.
Oh yeah, I forgot him.
I'm looking at Pac, he looking at me, and I'm like, damn, I forgot to tell these niggas, like, shit. The nigga Suge come in. Man, knock out, what y'all niggas tripping off for? Man, we all family and whoop-de-whoop, nigga. And then niggas start laughing and it was over with.
This is 15 years ago, and I had just gotten back from my infamous South Africa trip. And I came to the punchline just to cheer myself up. It's a safe place where I could tell some jokes. And I find out that this comedian I know, Chris Tucker, who's in all those Rush Hour movies, I find out that Chris is in San Francisco too at some charity event. So I call him, I'm like, yo, I just saw you at some charity event. I said, I'm doing a show at the punchline, why don't you come by the club after your event? He's like, cool, Dave, I thought she was dead, nigga, I'll come by. He said, is it okay if I bring some friends? Cause, you know, I'm with a lot of people. I go, man, you Chris Tucker. You can bring whoever the fuck you want. And then I show up to the club late that night. Sitting in the dressing room is Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, and sitting next to her was Al Gore. It's fucking weird. And it was Chris Tucker and Paul Mooney was drinking scotch. At some point, Kamala Harris says, a friend of mine is announcing his candidacy for president tomorrow. I went to college with him. I'm like, what? I go, Barack Obama? She goes, you've heard of him? I'm like, yo, I just read about this dude. And she goes, yo, yeah, blah, 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 we talking. She goes, you know what? She says, let's call him on the phone. I said, what the fuck? And she picks the phone up and she dials and she's listening like this. And she goes, this is voicemail. And she gives me the phone, she goes, leave him a message. You know, I didn't know what to say. I just said what you say to any black dude that's running for president. You know, stay low, running a zigzag pattern, this kind of shit. And then the last thing I say is, you know what? I said, sir, I really do believe you can do this. Like, man, I'm wishing you luck. Now, I had a chance to go to the last debate on the Democratic ticket, and I went. It's me and Chris Tucker sitting in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's the last three candidates. It was Barack Obama, John Edwards, and Hillary Clinton. Now, Obama's a lot taller than Edwards and Clinton, and he had the center podium. And at one point, they're all on stage, and they start fussing, and Obama goes, look, none of us are perfect. And I was sitting in the audience like, this nigga looks like Jesus. And I realized in that moment that I was looking at the next president of the United States. I was certain of it. I couldn't explain it, but I knew what I was seeing. And I got really excited. And I'm not that kind of guy. I said, I gotta meet this motherfucker. So I stayed. They were all on stage doing interviews, and I just waited. I was waiting and waiting. But Obama was taking forever. He finishes his last interview. He's like, well, thank you very much. Good talking to you. And he turns around, and we make eye contact. He sees me, and when he sees me, he looks over, he goes, Dave Chappelle. And he like bro hugged me, and he pulled me in, and I'll never forget this. He said in my ear, I got your message.
And I have 10 urgent messages from Jay-Z. Call me now. I was in Russia. I don't know if y'all remember when like one of the reporters tried to kiss me.
Oh, yeah,
and I slapped him, right? So I'm in my room and I have 10 urgent messages from Jay-Z, right? I'm like, Jay don't hit you, or he's like, call me now, with exclamation points. And I was like, yo, like Jay don't do that. Right. So I get in, I go, yo, what's up? And he sounds winded. He's like, yo, what's up, man? What's up? So, yo, what's happening? He said, hey, I just saw the video of you slapping the dude in Russia. He said, I just want you to know you'll never make a better piece of entertainment. He was like, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He said, me and B, we got a show tonight, and we thinking about canceling it and just staying in and watching you slap this dude. And, you know, we talked about it after, and he was like, it was such a breath of fresh air to see you just be authentic. Yeah.
Diana Ross just stood up right in the middle of the prayer and just started. I was gonna play Richard Pryor, man, and then his wife. I didn't screw his wife, his ex-wife, and she got mad. You're not gonna play Richard. You didn't spank this ass. Oh, she gonna sue me for this. You're going to people's court, nigga.
People's court. People's court. I ain't
Don't. Yeah, man. But I went to Richard Pryor's funeral, man, and none of his friends got up there and talked about him. Paul Mooney, none of them people went up there to talk about him, bro. Monique went up there on the stage. She didn't know him. And George Lopez went on the stage. He didn't know him. He wasn't even in the casket. The casket was shut. We all in there crying. She done burnt him up somewhere. Diana Ross just stood up right in the middle of the prayer and just started. Ooh, I swear to God, I'm not bored. Hey, I can't tell you a lie. She just started singing like, oh. She had a big ass hat with a net on her shit. I get on the stage, right? I'm on the stage. I'm coming down because I've been on coke for 2-3 nights. They think I'm crying for Richard, but I'm crying because I've been high all night. His kids is sitting there crying, man. So when I seen his kids crying, I start crying because it just made, I'm like, damn, that's their dad. The lady told me that night, you're not ready to play Richard. I said, fuck you, bitch.
I get to my room and I'm literally like putting a key card in my room. X door swing over. Yo, Shorty, you good? I'm like, yeah. DMX brought me to Toronto, Canada. He was shooting the movie Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal or whatever, and we were up there, and I'm talking about they was treating DMX like the mayor of Canada. Like, we went to the club one night, and it's my first time really in a club, but you know, like, I was playing a different level than X, because you know X loved to play pool. So like everybody was surrounding him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a part of the entourage. They took me upstairs and had me just on a little vibe or whatever. So I ended up meeting a little chick, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in there, and it's time for everybody to go. You know, they filing out with X. I'm grabbing, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Come with me. Forget, we were staying at the Sutton Place Hotel. You know, when you get to the hotel, the artist goes up first with the security and the entourage wait, you know what I'm saying? Let him get settled. So X was in his room already. Like, I might have waited like 15 minutes. Like, I might have smoked a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get to my room, and I'm literally, like, putting a key card in my room, and a nigga, X door swing over. He like, yo, Shorty, you good? I'm like, yeah. He like, hey, yo, Ma, I think you left your purse in my room. Now, mind you, we met these at the club. She never been to his room. They never been to the hotel or nothing. And she was like, I think I did. She made a beeline around me. He looked at me like, Shorty, I'll talk to you later. Shorty, don't worry about it. Yeah. Close the door and take my purse.
You ever found her purse?
It was just all such a very weird moment for me to be in this place. I don't think I was supposed to be here. While I was in Los Angeles, I was working on a new project with these girls, and one night we decided to go out to a club, and that was when I met Tupac at Hollywood Athletic Club. Actually, he was with Tretch, who I was already familiar with.
Introduce me to Pop.
All right.
Coming back. Pop, his face is Pop.
Tupac told me he was a big fan and that he'd heard my music and that he would love to do a record with me one day. You know, I was like, oh, okay, that's really dope. Let me know. So we exchanged information. Big had always spoken very highly of Tupac. He really considered him like his homeboy. When I called Big to tell him that Pac asked me to be on his record, he didn't tell me not to do it either.
Tupac had told me he was going to send a car, and then he actually came to pick me up, and it just kind of felt strange.
He picks her up in a convertible with the top down.
We get to the studio, and I basically think I'm just coming to do a hook, which usually doesn't take me very long. I went in the booth, and the song was called Wonder Why They Call You Big. And it was just all such a very weird moment for me to be in this place to sing this particular song. And I don't think I was supposed to be here.
I did the song, did the session for a couple of hours. It wasn't that long, and that was it.
He told me that his manager was going to bring the check to his room. We could drive to the hotel. We can go get it. Especially in this situation. I'm like, I definitely got to get my money. When we get to his room, his friends, they all, kicking it and having drinks and smoking. I just kind of felt it becoming a little menacing in a way. And then he said that I needed to suck his to get my money. I was shocked. I was a little scared. I think I kind of started crying a little bit, and I never got my money. I ended up leaving.
You white devils, y'all don't want black people to have shit. He says, I reached out to ODB and he wanted $15,000 to rap on the record. At the time, that was a lot of money, but it really wasn't for Mariah Carey's budget. So, no problem. He finally showed up 3 hours late, and when he got there, it was about 10:30 at night. He had been drinking and was on the phone when he walked in, irate, screaming at some girl how he's going to come kill her, and then whispering, I love you. Then screaming again. This went on for an hour. Yo, pardon me, I need some Moet and some Newports before we get into this record. I said, it's 12:30 at night, bro. I don't know where we're going to get Moet from. He started yelling at the assistants, calling them white devils. You white devils, y'all don't want black people to have shit. They went out for like an hour, and the only thing they could find was some Heinekens. He was so disgusted, he threw a bottle on the floor. At this point, Mariah had been calling every hour and an hour, wanting to hear something over the phone. Tommy was pissed because Mariah was keeping him up, so he finally got on the phone with ODB, and after that, finally we started to record. He said one line, me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers, then paused, said, yo, I need to take a break, and then went to sleep for 45 minutes. He woke up and was like, yo, let me hear what I did so far. We played his one line back. He sang another line or two and then slept for another hour. He would come up with a line, punch that in, go to sleep. He went to sleep 3 different times in the middle of trying to get that one verse done. Told the engineer, y'all better have your shit together and record it right, because I'm not doing it twice. Sleeping in the studio when Tommy and Mariah called me, and they said they loved the record. But Tommy had a bright idea. Let's get ODB back in the studio, and instead of just New York in the house, do a line for all the cities. Of course, ODB wanted another 15 grand. He came back to the studio, a little more mellow, but dead tired. He's sitting there picking food out of his teeth. He pulled a piece of food out of his mouth so big it was scary. Then he fell asleep on the couch, kicked one of his shoes off. His foot smelled so bad, we had to let him sleep. And eventually, we got the other parts done, and that was that. A week later, it was time to shoot a video. We reached out to him, and he wanted another 15 grand. No problem. So I sent a car to his house, and he drank every friggin' thing in the limo. I asked him, do you need the stylist to buy clothes for you? He said, nah, this is hip-hop. I'm just rocking some jeans and Timbs.
Right.
That day, he was in a trailer, in and out of consciousness, when I said, we're getting ready to do a scene. He said, I don't got no clothes. How am I going to do a video if I ain't got nothing to wear? I started screaming at him. Man. Tommy told us, take my corporate credit card to the mall, back on the set with all these bags of Tommy Hilfiger clothes and Timberlands. It was finally time for him to do the scene, and I promise you, he put on a pair of jeans and Timbs and said, I'm not going to wear a shirt. I don't need clothes. I wanted to shoot him.
This is what Puff taught me. One time I walked in when I was fresh off the streets. I got signed to Bad Boy. I had these fresh Air Nikes on. And the nigga Puff had on Air Nikes too, brand new. I made a mistake and stepped on his sneaker. And the dirt was on his laces, on his white Airs. I said, man, my bad, because I had stepped in some dirt. You know, the nigga Puff came back, put his feet in the dirt, and stepped all over my sneakers. I said, yo, what are you doing? He said, my bad. I said, yo. The moral of the story is, nobody just want to hear you say you're bad.
I remember having a party. It was like a Super Bowl party. I had like 700 or 800 people at my house, and now like everybody's like fizzling out. It's now like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. I think Snoop was there, Mike Epps was there, different people were hanging out. There's a knock on my door at like 10 a.m. and it's Pamela Anderson in my house living with me. I knew he was upstairs, my good friend DMX, God rest his soul. And I was like, yo, X, check this out. He comes over the railing of my house and he's like, looks over, Baywatch. And then he just walked back away, walked back in. X was living with me, man. And like, it was like the blind leading the blind. And I'm like trying to help him. I'm like, man, you really need to get clean, man. It's like, what the fuck? So I'm like, yo, you need to go to rehab. I'm like, so I get him, I convince him like to avoid like a jail sentencing for something, a charge that he had, whatever. He went to rehab and like was getting his shit together. I got a call from him. The place was directly across the street from the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. And he's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, well, how are you calling me? You don't have phone privileges like that in this place. He's like, I'm across the street from the rehab at the Hard Rock with one of the nurses. And like, I'm like, oh my, are you kidding me? I was like, yo, X, cover yourself up. Come back to my house. I'm going to talk to these people, let you back in. And they wouldn't let him back in. It was like, and he ended up, because it was court ordered, he had to go away. A couple of days later, and there's 50 federal agents here. Like crazy shit, bro.
As soon as I landed, I got a message from Michael Jackson's office, like, Michael, want to meet you tomorrow in New York City. I was like, what?
Don't tell me. How did you and Michael Jackson actually become friends?
I met everybody, all his family members before I met him. I met Jermaine. I met Joe Jackson even called me one time at a comedy club. I wanted to meet Michael, and but they always just calling me. I was like, where's Michael? Call me with Michael on the other line. They got on the phone with each other one time, and he told me he was performing. He was doing his album in New York, and I was doing Rush Hour 2 in Vegas. And he said, when you're through, just come to New York and we can meet. And you know, it's great. I'm a big fan. And I'm like, I'm a big fan, Michael. You don't understand. He's like, whenever you're done, let's get together. I spent a lot of money to see Michael.
Really?
Yeah, because I took a private plane to New York. I took a private plane to New York. Called him before I went because I was going there for something else.
Yeah.
And I kept leaving a message. Michael, I'm in New York. If you're around, I'd love to see you. And I didn't hear anything. So I got on that same private plane, flew back to Los Angeles. You know, I was done. As soon as I landed, I got a message from Michael Jackson's office, like, Michael, want to meet you tomorrow in New York City. I was like, what?
Don't tell me you have to go back.
I went right up to the captain's seat and I said, take me back to New York. They said, well, is this going to cost? I said, I don't care. You got my credit card. Just take me back. Man, I was in an expensive plane too. I don't know what it was, G4 or whatever. That's how we became friends. It was like, I don't know how much it was, but it was crazy. They flew me all the way back. The guy said, cool. The pilots went right back up in the air. They had enough time they could fly some more. So that's how I met Mike.
I was Michael Jackson. No. Did you ever meet and spend any time with Michael Jackson?
Yeah, me and Mike got a song together. He called me. So to hear his voice on the phone, he was like, hey, it's Michael. I'm like, what's that, nigga? He was like, well, first of all, my mom says that you look like someone in my family. We could be related. I'm like, serious, cuz. So what you need me to do, Mike? I have this particular track, and I want you to sing on it, and, you know, just do whatever you want to do. I'm like, all right, cuz, I'm going to handle that. I'll get back at you, cuz.
That was it?
I went to work. You know, I wasn't about all that talking. Come on, Rosenberg. You know, I was infatuated when I hung up. I was like, Nickel, you know, I was just on the phone with Nickel. Nigga, that was Michael Jackson, nigga. Not Jermaine, nigga. Not Joe.
Not Tito.
No, that was Michael.
Did you ever see him in person?
Yeah, look, the Michael Jackson trailer was right next to mine, and we was blowing like a broke stove. And I looked over and said, "Hi, Snoop." I said, "You want to hear something, Mike?" "No, thank you."
Me and X got so many stories, man. So another time, saying I was with X, and we in Manhattan, and he sees the dude. You know how the dudes come up with the watches. So X looked at the dude. He said, "Yo, what you doing with my brother's watch?" X knocks the dude out. The dude is out on the ground. Takes the watches. We go up into the studio. I think we was in Quad that day. They call us up on the phone from downstairs. Yo, the police is on their way upstairs. So let me find my way out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I try to hit the stairs and get out of there. X goes and hide behind the real machines. You know what I'm saying? So the police is coming up the stairs as I come. So they got the dude with them. They looks right at me and said, "Yeah, that's him." They locked me up. Lock me up, put me in jail. But me and X, we got crazy stories.
What's your most fondest story with you and X?
Probably when we was on tour one night, me and Rule sitting there talking, Locks is over there talking, whatever, and X come in and X is like, "Yo, X has these pit bulls when he bring on tour." The nigga X lets them on the leash and everybody starts darting into rooms like, "Yo, we out of here, bro." Like X is just crazy. Like, he release the attack dogs on
You and Snoop got into some shit one time, just kind of wrestling around, and he shot up your
yeah.
equipment.
Yeah, we got into it. Talking shit. I'm talking shit. I think I put him in a headlock or something like that. And then you came in there and shot my drum machine. With these 380s we just bought. And then I went in there and shot the TV up he just bought. He had one of them big ass TVs, and then we just went in there and smoked a blunt afterwards. It was all that.
Didn't y'all create Ain't No Fun right after that?
Yep. Because we went somewhere and they took the disc out the drum machine and gave it to Dr. Dre. And then I came back in, they had Ain't No Fun done. Dr. Dre did what he did, and Nate Dogg coming in, when I met you, it was over. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg.
I said, well, what if you leave in a pine box? I had a girl in the jail. Her name was Raggedy Ann. She had red hair. Walk up in there tripping on niggas every day. This my fucking jail. And I'm this. Me and her, we didn't even have to talk. So in the jail, I work in the kitchen. They got the kitchen for the cops in the same thing. Of course, Fat Joe used to walk up in there, pull out the Snicker ice cream bars from the shit, walk out with the ice cream every day. Every day the bitch catch. She grabbed that shit on. This my motherfucking jail. You know, I'm wrong. You know, she caught me stealing the shit. I'm just walking away. She talking the shit. We in the building, so we on our way to go up. She starts saying the speech. It's 100. I made sure I was 99. I'm in the back of the line. Any motherfucker think they rich and famous here, this and that. I said, well, miss, you gotta be talking about me. Yeah. But I step out in the line. She's like, well, maybe I'm talking about you. I said, miss, look, let me tell you the bad news. I've been in here 3 months. I only got 4. My mansion's on the water down the block. You only got 1 month to run it off. If you want to fuck with me every day and try to play with me, I'm out of here in 3 weeks. She said, well, what if you leave in a pine box? 100 niggas shut the fuck up so fast. They were like, I got back in the line. I said, oh, let me not play with this bitch. Sure enough, 8 months after I'm in jail, I can't sleep one night. I'm looking at the local news in Miami. Federal correction officer kills her husband, throws him off the boat in the middle of this bitch killed her husband. I said, yo, this bitch is great. She's in jail.
Could have been off the boat.
Nigga, she killed her husband.
Covered for you.
Raggedy Ann was the truth.
Anybody in D.C. knows this. It was one of Allen Iverson's. You already know about it. All white parties. Crazy. Off the chain. Thousands of women. Beautiful. Off the chain. I go buy a fresh ass white outfit. I'm ready to get in this goddamn club, right? We all get off Allen Iverson's celebrity bus. We get to the front door, and there is a security guard. He had to be 9'11" is what he had to be. He wasn't human. This is about 7 feet tall. He looks down at me, goes, "Hey, T, you in D.C., baby!" And he gave me a hug, right? Pull back, and all I know is, like, he's been shot!
Nigga scratched you
when
all
I
up.
tell you, it looked like I got shot 4 times in this all-white outfit. When he came down, Spanky went like this, clipped the tip of my nose to where you see the white meat.
Jesus Christ.
This nigga assaulted and stabbed me. I could have sued. It looked like I was shot 11 times. That's how much I was bleeding. Whenever I see a 6'11", 7 foot, I give that a pound from a distance. Don't even get close to me.
It's Tupac. He's walking with Biggie Smalls. I went to a concert and Big Daddy Kane was performing. I'm just in the crowd as a fan. It was one of them Budweiser Superfests.
Oh, wow.
Crowd started going crazy. And through the crowd, it's Tupac. He's walking with Biggie Smalls. How about that one? Just in the crowd watching Big Daddy Kane perform. He stops. Yo, Crack, come on. All I got out is Flojo. Flojo #1 at the time, by the way, too. We go on stage. I'm standing on stage next to them. Remember Tupac pulling me up on the stage. Biggie, I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8. Tupac even said, yo, Fat Joe, passing the mic. Big Daddy Kane was like, not enough time, guys. Not enough time. He shut Joe Crack down. Big Daddy Kane went up to Drink Champs. And Nori asked him, he said, yeah, it's true. Joe was there. You know, I was running out of time. I was headlining, so I had to get to the hits. I said, Big Daddy Kane ain't no Fat Joe was going to be that lean back Fat Joe.
I hear you, but what if we get killed? Nas was in the crack house, was like, nigga, we was high.
Yeah.
I'm high as
See that.
grinding my team. I'm telling Nas, I said, we're going to get 3 tour buses. We're going to rap you, Ja, Ashanti. Before we go to the show, we're going to hit the hood. We pulling up in Rolls Royces and eating fried chicken in the hood. Nas was like, yo, I hear you, but what if we get killed? Being in the hood like that. This is when I lost. I said, if we get killed, I said, then we martyrs. Yo, we gonna have security. It's gonna be 50. He's one get nasty, we get nasty. Rule backing me up. He Rule smoking a blunt. He said, hell yeah. That. Yeah, Rule was with me 1,000%. He was like, we ain't even worried about that. That's when I lost him.
Kanye called Dane or somebody. He was like, yo, some dudes was scheming on him at Chelsea Diner on 23rd and 9th Avenue. We walk up in Chelsea Diner. Kanye was sitting there with some girls. He was looking a little petrified in the face. The dudes see us all come in and like, oh shit, Dane Dash, Beanie Siegel, Young Chris, Neef. He had his chain tucked in. Beans going, he sit next to Kanye and he ice grilling the dudes like, sitting right next to them. Kanye ready to get up. He getting ready to get up. Beans like, yo, sit down. Eat your food. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? And he looking at the dude like, what? Beans knows he had his chain tucked. Beans stick his hand in his shirt, pull his chain out. Man, pull your chain out. Like, the Mac just sitting there right on, you see it. They like, nah, we good. Kanye finished eating. We jumped back in the van. We went back to the studio. We was recording We Are the Champions, Beans verse. And he's like, gang, cause he going on, cause we just came back. Go listen to his delivery on that song, We Are the Champions song. It's hilarious.
A girl walks up and stands in front of Martin. Martin was newly married. He's like, well, you know, in Miami, it was like, I'm not doing nothing. It's like, Marty, Ma, we in Miami. Come on, you got it. He was like, no. I was like, dude. So Prince had a club called Glam Slam. Oh, Martin, come on. He was like, man, all right. So we go, and Martin is literally sitting there with his hand, and he's sitting there, and it's thick. It's wild. Like I'd never seen nothing like this club, right? So we sitting there, And there's a balcony that looks over onto the dance floor. So we're up in the balcony, VIP, we're sitting there. So the girl walks up and stands in front of Martin, and she lifts her skirt up, and she has nothing on under, and she's asking Martin if they could. She wants to have. And I look at Martin, and he's like, "This one don't fucking go nowhere with you." Martin and I have never been out again.
That's it. Bruno, what's up, man? Yo, you Puerto Rican? He got up. I'll tell you a story. I say a name. To me, Bruno Mars. You know, he's Puerto Rican. At least that's what they say. You know, I want to bring him in the Puerto Rican mafia, right? So I'm at the awards, and I'm sitting next to him. And I'm sitting right next to somebody in the awards. And I'm saying, shit, Bruno Mars, I'm going to talk to somebody. Said, yo, the guy next to me said, you might not want to do it. I said, what? Yo, Bruno, what's up, man? Yo, what's up, Joe? He's with Anderson .Paak. I'm like, yo, you Puerto Rican? He got up. You mean I'm a real Puerto Rican from Bushwick, Brooklyn. Don't have an accent in your life. And went and sat on the other side of the room. Man, broke my heart. Tell me something. Who's your father, Pedro?
How did you say it?
Mad, like, other side of looking like. And I swear to God, I said, yo, we need to see if we beat up his pops or something, because it seemed personal.
What did Anderson .Paak
Beat
do?
up grandma. I responded like I thought Bruno was going to respond. Yeah. Bruno, if you don't remember it, I forgive you.
I was in New York and I was with my man Chauncey, and we went to this party. We got in there about 1 a.m. Maxwell in there. Chauncey was like, damn, there go Maxwell. He was like, yo, Maxwell. Maxwell had all these model chicks, right? He was at the bar. He was like, Chauncey, what up? Chauncey like, it's my boy Dion. He like, yo, what up, D-Ski? What up, man? Just grab a drink. Come on. He goes some model chick. He go to chicks and shit. And we over there in the VIP and just weed and drinks and shit. He D-Ski, come on, take a picture. I'm like, all right, cool, Maxie. I got called up. I'm calling him Maxie and shit. I'm like, Maxie, I come. So we go over there, we flicking it up, drinking and shit. They're like, yo, let's go to another party. We went to another party. We hanging out. D-Ski, come here. I'm like, yeah, Maxie. We went home, went to the room with this little model chick, man. I'm like, man, that shit was fly as fuck. Next day, I go out and I go to this party and shit, right? I go up in there. Who in the club? Maxwell. I see Maxwell. I'm like, yo. I walk up to him, Maxie. He was like, what? I was like, what's happening? He was like, who? What? Who's you? I'm like, it's D-Ski. He just walked away, dog. I'm like, oh shit. I get like shit. Did not remember me at all.
We're like, oh shit. Like, we never knew you did martial arts. Dame saw me perform at Caroline's, right? After seeing me perform at Caroline's, Dame go, yo man, you funny as shit. I'm gonna put you in a movie. Give him a number that hits me later on. Dame wants you to come to the office.
Wow.
Yeah, I come in there. He says, yo, we're gonna do the movie. I just wanted to meet. I think it's gonna be funny as shit. Here's what I'm thinking. He's just talking.
No script yet.
No, just talking. It was like, Charlie gonna help write it.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, y'all go figure it out. Charlie Murphy, when he gets into it, Charlie Murphy's like, y'all gotta come over my house. Only way we can write this is y'all gotta come over my house. So Charlie Murphy invites us over his house. We're supposed to be writing Paper Soldiers, right? We're like going through the script. Charlie's got all these like mannequins downstairs, like, and they were like, what the fuck, Charlie, be doing with these guys? so Charlie's like, yeah, I'll do martial arts, right? So we're like, oh shit, like we never knew you did martial arts. So Smokey challenged Charlie. He like, get the fuck out of here, you don't do no martial arts. He said, motherfucker, what? I do martial arts. So Charlie said, you want to see a tape? You want to see a tape? So Smokey says, yes. I'll show y'all something right now. He pressed play, and we pressed play. This dude kicked Charlie in the fucking stomach so hard. Charlie's like, hold up, wait, not that. You remember on VHS, like when you fast forward,
You can still see it?
You can still see what's going on. This guy was fucking Charlie up. Fucking like, but we was just sitting there, we wasn't saying nothing. So Smokey was like, yo, he kicking your ass. So Charlie, no, not that ain't what I want you to see. Charlie like fast forward to this place where he you know, do a move on this guy and slam him. And he like, see, I do martial arts, nigga. So we like quiet and Charlie set the tone from there. He's like, look, y'all niggas gonna come up here, we gonna do the work. We're gonna write this shit. We're gonna hand it in, and this motherfucker's gonna make this movie. But y'all gotta do the work. And I remember Charlie saying, don't come up here and waste my fucking time if you ain't gonna work. So we was like, all right, what does that mean? Like, what do you want us to do? Charlie made us come to his house for like 4 days out the week over the course of like a month, and we wrote
table readings?
Like all of it.
Okay.
Work on the script, write, just help them, the voices, whatever. They gave it, and then Dame was like, we're gonna make the movie. Here's
be the gayest nigga that ever lived. I met this nigga at a party. I had no idea who he was. But the minute he walked in that party, I knew I was in his dream. Everybody in the party was another dreamer. Everyone was famous, but when that nigga walked in, he was dressed like C-3PO. He was shining. And everyone was like, oh my God, there he is. That's Lil Nas X. I didn't know who he was. And for some reason, out of all them dreamers, he walked right up to me. And he said, I tried to get you in my video. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I said, what? I said, what? What video? And he just looked at me like, you know what video, and walked away. And I watched him walk away. I said, man, this nigga's having a very powerful dream. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when we was in grade school. Remember in grade school, the teacher would ask everybody what they want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? I don't want to say, because I don't want the other kids to laugh at me. Who cares if they laugh? Your dream is yours. Own your dream so they can come true. Say it loud and proud. What do you want to be when you grow up? Lil Nas X. And that nigga stood up in front of the whole class. I want to be the gayest nigga that ever lived. I want to do a music video and slide down a stripper pole all the way to the depths of hell and suck the devil's dick at 10 o'clock on BET while all the kids are awake and can see me. Shockingly, that was the only dream that worked out.
I went to go see Santana, right? I got this chick with me, but during the show, he brings Stevie just come out of nowhere, right? He come out and he do like a guest spot with him. They go backstage. I go backstage. I was like, man, you want to meet Steve? She's like, yeah, I love meet him. And I'm the bodyguard. He was like, just hold on for a second. I was like, I'm gonna go get some drinks. I go get some drinks and come back. She gone. And I'm like, where's she at? The bodyguard like, yeah, she went in. I let her in to go see Stevie. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll go in. He's like, yeah, it's a lot of people in there right now. Just chill and shit. Okay, so I'm standing there holding the drinks. About 45 minutes go by, dog. I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? So I'm texting her and shit. This motherfucker ain't answering. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Finally, she come out and she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what the fuck is you doing? And she was like, man, Stevie was just talking to me about some stuff. And, you know, if you could do me a favor, he really want to talk to me. And if you can go home, that'd be cool. And I got some money for you to go home. And gave me like $100 to go home. Cause she drove, right? And I gave me some money to go home, take a cab home. And I knew Stevie gave her that money cause if that motherfucker didn't have a dime, I paid for everything. I was riding home in the cab, dog, just sitting there like, look, I seen him later on, right? I was chilling outside at this bar. There was a hole in the wall too. In the club, everybody was like, oh my God, that's Stevie. And I was like, that nigga is. And one of his people came over to me and was like, yo, Steve, I want to talk to you for a minute. And I was like, I ain't going over there. I was like, he can come over here. I ain't going over there. And then they was like, then they came back over and was like, man, can you just come over here? And I was like, yeah, all right. And I went over there. They was like, Dion right here. And he was like, hey, what's up, Dion? And I was like, what? And then I leaned down there and he was like, why your bitch ass still tripping over that motherfucker? And I was like, ain't nobody tripping over that girl. Yes, you is, motherfucker. And I said, I'm not. He was like, yeah, he said, I'm married now. I don't even motherfucking matter now, but I can feel it. I can feel it in you. He said, I ain't tripping, nigga. And I was like, man, I'm gone, man. And I kept going, I'm leaving.
I ain't was talking to him before I walked away and shit. I was trying to be respectful, but I was like, I'm getting ready to go. Nigga. Hey, nigga, I'm leaving.
Diddy's 30th birthday party, 1999, at the Playboy Mansion. Just sitting here talking with Eddie Murphy in Arsenio Hall. And out of nowhere, Eddie Murphy just goes, yo, Alex, you ever met Mike? Michael Jackson. I'm like, no, I never met him. He's like, you want to meet him? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to meet Michael Jackson. He's like, oh yeah, he's right there. 10 feet away from me, Michael Jackson and Tom Cruise are hanging from the ceiling of the Playboy Mansion in this giant swing. Arsenio goes, yo, he probably knows who you are. I'm like, man, get out of here. There's no way in the world. No, you don't understand. His life is so stressed out. All he does is watch comedy, TV shows, movies. He just wants to laugh. And he loves stand-up. So I was like, oh, wow. Well, maybe Mike knows who I am. Because in 99, Art, I was popping. Eddie walks me over to Mike. He just goes, Mike, Alex Thomas, Michael Jackson. Mike reaches out his hand. He grabs my hand. And dude, he just started dying laughing. He just looks me dead in my face and goes, you're so funny. My whole body went numb. I just got emotional because I couldn't believe Michael Jackson knew who I was. And a small tear came down my face. And I just gave him the biggest hug. I went right into his ear. I was like, I love you, Michael. Everybody around me just died laughing. I pull away, and I don't know what made me do this, Art, but I pinched the tip of his nose. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio hit the ground. They were laughing so hard. Arsenio got up off the floor, wiping tears out of his eyes. And he looked me dead in my face. He was like, bruh, you are the first person I've ever seen touch Michael's face and get away with it. So I suggest you get the fuck up out this party right now before his security comes over here and breaks both your legs. I said, you ain't said nothing but a word.
You don't even look like yourself tonight. I was like, when I turned 30, I smoked weed. And I had one time in my 20s, the dentist gave me Percocet.
Oh, Percocet.
He gave me Percocet. And I remember I was sitting at the dining room table and I said, I feel good. And Fruity that worked for me, he was like, yeah, that's them Percocets, man. I was like, really? Oh, wow. So I finished that prescription. And you know what made me stop taking them? At a club, I was at the Comedy Store, and I had taken a Percocet, and I was a Percocet and then smoked a joint, and that combination made you feel like
Sure.
So Pauly Shore came up to me, who owns the Comedy Store, comedian, and he was like, "Hey, you don't even look like yourself tonight." And I was like, "Really? Who do I look like?" And he said, "Some other dude." Walked away, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking with this no more." He said, "I look like some other dude."
Dave Chappelle jumped in the lesson, niggas, lesson.
Tracy Morgan had a raggedy ass Mazda, a little raggedy Mazda.
And that's when he was wearing the propeller on his hat. And he'd come and pick me up, man. Come on, man. Let's go get this money. Me and him riding. He was playing Jodeci and shit. and Mary J. Blige.
I swear, man, we riding around getting $100 a show. And I remember Tracy Martin Lawrence called Tracy to come and do Bro Man. And I'm
Hustle Man.
And I'm in the car with him.
Man, Martin Lawrence called me. I'm on my way to Hollywood, man. He went out there to did Martin, and he came back, and he was crying and shit, man. Martin made me cry, man. Sitting up in that big ass mansion he got out there, man. I swear to God, I seen all this shit. And I remember one time, man, I'm walking around down in the villages, and something happened where I didn't get a movie. I run into Dave Chappelle. He's sad too. He's crying and sad. I said, man, what's up, Dave? You know, they didn't pick my TV show up. He had a little dog with him. Man, I followed and talked that nigga all the way home. I talked to that nigga to 6:30 in the morning. I'm hiding him up. I swear these niggas know the story. One time me and Tracy Morgan was about to fight and Dave Chappelle jumped in the front. Listen, niggas, listen. That's enough for everybody.
Tuna Edits.
I got to meet people like Sammy Davis and that kind of shit, you know. Sammy told me he worshiped the devil. We were in Dan Tana's on that restaurant with all the pictures up. Sammy was like, you know, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, why do you think there's so much anger in the world and killing and murder and the Satan? And he saw my reaction to it, and he kind of lightened up on it. And he was like, the Dan Tana is dark, and it's the candles on the table, and Sammy's face over the candle. You know, Satan is as powerful as God.
I heard someone eating popcorn in my ear, and that's how I knew it was him. I don't remember the year. I met him 2 times. They were like, okay, Michael wants to meet you guys. We get into the trailer. It's a 2-story trailer. The trailer has stairs. Assistant comes in, like, you guys can have a seat, so we sit down. He comes in, he's tall. Standing there, 2 beautiful women walk in. He kisses one, like, full on. It's a moment. It ain't like no peck, it's like a real situation.
Black girl, white girl.
They look Brazilian. So I'm like, wow. He just is the king of catching you off guard. So then, like, we're talking or whatever, and like, he's like, yeah, the meeting was supposed to be for us to meet to talk about music. Now remember, the songs he turned down, I don't think he realized that I was gonna give those songs to Justin. I'm going back in time for a second. So we're in the studio with Justin, and they were like, listen, you got a phone call on line 1. I'm like, yeah, who is it? That's Michael Jackson. I'm like, man, get out of here. Call back, line 1. I'm like, all right, cool, who is this? I'm thinking it's my friend. And I heard someone eating popcorn in my ear, and that's how I knew it was him. He's the king of trolling. Like, hey, he's like, how are you? What are you doing? Okay. You working with Justin? Oh, that's really nice. That's great. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, you guys have a great session. Tell Justin I said hello. Hangs up. And Justin was like, who is that, Michael? I'm like, yeah. I was like, how did you know? He's like, yeah, man, he does that.
I don't want to alarm you, but Suge's outside. And he does this. The one Christmas party, it was Salma Hayek over here, Eddie Murphy over here, Snoop and Game, and everybody in between just having a party. And I remember, oh man, I remember this. Suge showed up. It was crazy. And this was when it was the real Suge. And the guys that I do have as security, they real guys. Yeah. Like, you know, they say, yo, Fox, Suge's outside. I said, shit, I lost 30 pounds. I said, we can't right now. Because it would be crazy. I don't want Selma Hayek to catch a bottle or something in her head or something, right? So I remember having to go tell people at the party, just watch your neck, cause. And then I see Snoop dancing with like 4 girls, right? Yeah. And so I said, Snoop, nigga, I don't want to alarm you, but Suge's outside, and he does this. You ain't gonna let him in, is you? No. Cool. And you know, so it was like that. So it was incredible moments, but danger at the same time, which was great.